Hello, internets. Jesus loves you. My name's Cody, and this is a Christian news show we do on Tuesdays and Thursdays with geeksundergrace.com. As always, I want to give a special shout out to our Patreons at patreon.com/geeksundergrace. We love you guys very much. Thank you so much for donating. And our first story of the day is about football, but it is not about the Super Bowl, mostly because the Broncos didn't even get to the playoffs. We're actually going to be talking about an assistant defense coach for the Seahawks. The coach's name is Seto, and according to the team, the reason they have their rugby-style tackling is because of this guy. But it's being reported that Seto is stepping down from his position. The reason being so they can focus on being a minister full-time. And you have to think about it. I mean, this guy probably had lots of money because he was with the Seahawks. He had spent 15 seasons with the team. So I think it's very cool to see someone step down, give up that life so that they can pursue Christ more. It was very cool. And Seto, I wish you the best. And from that, we go to our next story of the day, one that I found surprising. See, I go to a mega church. All of my pastors are pretty young, but apparently, in general, pastors are getting old. Only 1 in 7 pastors is under the age of 40. I now need to apologize to everyone who is watching who is over the age of 40. I am not calling you old, except I kind of am a little bit. Now, I do want to point out that I don't think that a younger pastor is going to do a better job than an older pastor. In fact, an older pastor probably has more experiences to share and to spread the gospel with. The problem is when the average pastor is 54 years old and not in their 30s, means that right now there really isn't a generation in place to take the mantle of that 54-year-old in the next 30 to 40 years. In other words, if we want Christianity to be relevant in the next 30 years, we need some younger pastors. But from that, we go to the final story of the day, definitely taking on a much darker, sadder tone. There's been a shooting in Canada, specifically Quebec, and it is being called an act of terrorism. But what hurts me the deepest is that it was an attack on a mosque. 50 Muslims were gathered there praying, 6 were killed, many of them were injured. And I think of all of the persecution stories I've brought up, all of the terrors that Islamic extremists have done in the Middle East. And so when I see this, I see extreme hypocrisy. The 2 suspects have been arrested. They don't believe that there are any others. They haven't released any motives or anything like that. But with Canada bringing in 39,000 Syrian refugees, it kind of makes sense that it's probably a hate crime. As a Christian, it hurts when Christians are persecuted. But I pray that it weren't Christians who did this, because that would make us no better than the extremists these Muslims were fleeing from. But that's where we're going to end today's show. Question of the day is going to go back to the pastors. Why do you think there aren't that many younger pastors right now? I would love to see what you guys have to say, so please leave a comment in the comment section down below with your answer. Also, be sure to check out geeksundergrace.com for more geeky content. My name's Cody Armour, bringing you Christian news in a not-so-boring kind of way every Tuesday and Thursday. In closing, let the haters hate, let the Christians pray. And to everyone like to subscribe, I will see you later, and God bless.